Hello family. Today we're going to learn how to make a pyramid style spread for tarot cards. This is my favorite spread. I use it all the time, and it uses 3 cards on the left, 1 in the center, 3 on the right, and another for the door for the pyramid, which I'm going to show you in just a second. This is how I lay them out. If cards jump out, I usually look at them. They might be of importance. They might show up in the reading later as well. So I shuffle. When I'm finished, set them down. Sometimes I'll take them in my left hand and dispense with the right. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is my pyramid. 3 on the left, center, top of the pyramid. 3 on the right, and then the doorway in the center. Now I double it up. Because on the pyramids we see those blocks. So there's another reason for this we'll go through in a second. It's quite simple. We have the past, what's going on currently, the present, hopes and fears. They might be wrapped up in each other. It might come across as something that looks more fearful or something that looks more hopeful. Things to look out for. The hidden influence, the secret cards. What's actually going to happen in the next step. These are across from one another. This is what you hope and fear would happen. This is what is actually going to happen. Compare these wisely. And then we have the best advice coming from the cosmos. It's best to channel more messages at this time. Really go into trance and channel for the advice coming through to you. And then in the conclusion, we have the finale, sort of. If it was a concrete question here, it will be answered in full. I will give a good idea about where something is heading currently, and the significator, as some would call it. This is the doorway, or the final thoughts. Now, the reason for the double cards, I like to double it because I'm a Gemini, so complex things make more sense to me. I like 2s. And the other technique that really pushed me from a beginner tarot reader into a more advanced tarot reader is being able to create a hybrid card by combining the energies and the knowledge you know of one card with another card to form a sentence, as if you had 2 different words that could combine into a sentence. Now most people do that when they go all the way through. They say this flows into this, flows into this, into this, into this. And I do that as well. But when we're looking at the same question of the past here, sometimes I like to have my main information for the past, and then I ask, okay, well, in what context does this fall? So I have my little sprinkling of new information upon it. I know some readers that only do this if they need clarification, and then they will pull for a certain card, or they will do this over the whole spread. But I like to do it all the time because I love to see combinations, and it talks about the combination of the energy to create even more unlimited possibilities plus reversals. So if you're getting bored of reversals and upright and you feel like you can move on the next step and use all your knowledge, you have to be able to combine the cards. And I'll go through each one. I'll flip, once I finish talking about this, then I'll flip and talk about this, flip and talk about this. Sometimes I'll skip ahead and do two at a time if I'm looking for something specific. A lot of cards, but don't get overwhelmed. Just take it one step at a time. The way to combine the cards, as I was mentioning before, so you have your card underneath. We have the Wheel of Fortune reverse here. The tides are changing, and yet there's a feeling of being stuck. There's big changes happening that the universe is making that you don't have too much control over, coming from all sides. Now, why is this happening? What context is this going on? We need some sprinkling of the other card here, the Moon. So the Moon is about confusion. It's our subconscious, things we didn't ever find within ourselves before to express, and now we may be able to express them. Brand new things we are uncovering from deep, deep, deep within ourselves. So when you're combining these two cards to create your new hybrid card, instead of saying those two things one after the other, you would simply just say, there's big fates at work from outside of you trying to show you your unconsciousness, subconsciousness, and bring it out into your world to help you ascend. And maybe it's not even time for it to come out yet. So just kind of flow it through into one sentence. Cards as one. So if you combine the principles that you know of the Hierophant, however you read the Hierophant, and the principles of the World card, you make a hybrid of those. So I would say that there was a recent completion around spiritual practice. Well, since this is a reading for me, I would say I went to a huge lecture and also just got a critique and have a completely new way of showing my spiritual gifts. So this is in the past a completion with the World card reverse, a sort of end to this mode of spiritual ascension, and on to the next one. So it's a kind of blending of the two. How people will usually do that, they'll blend them from left to right, right to left, cross pattern. They will blend them as they go, and that's important as well. But to get really good at reading cards, blend the meanings. Thank you, family, for joining me with the tarot hints on the pyramid style spread that we went over today, my favorite spread. I haven't found it in any books. I was taught it by a mentor, and it's proved a lot more useful for me than the Celtic Cross. I'm not sure why, it just seems to work, even though it's a similar kind of potential to future, past to present, hidden things, advice, conclusion, significator. It's all there. But for some reason, this pyramid calls out to me. So maybe it'll work for you. If it's not working, try something else. You'll find your way. Peace and blessings from Casey Robinson, aka K Seeker. Thank you. Asha.